Today we will discuss about our first topic of electrochemistry, that is conductors. So what are conductors actually? Conductors are the substances which allow the electricity to flow through them, that is named as conductors, right? Next one is non-conductors, which do not allow the flow of current through themselves, that are named as non-conductors, right? So these are the types of conductors we have already discussed in our previous classes, that is metallic conductors and electrolytic conductors, right? What are metallic conductors? Metallic conductors are the conductors which conduct current due to the movement of electrons. ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਲੈਕਟ੍ਰੋਨਸ ਦੇ ਮੂਵਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਇਲੈਕਟ੍ਰਿਸਿਟੀ ਕੰਡਕਟ ਹੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਮੈਟਲਿਕ ਕੰਡਕਟਰਸ. For example, you have learned in your previous classes, for example, if we talk about metals like sodium, potassium or other metals which have lowest ionization enthalpies. Now in these type of metals, we know very well their electrons are loosely held. So due to that loosely held electrons, it is very easy to remove these electrons, right? So that's why these metals or semi-metals even generally show electrical conductivity due to the presence of electrons. So that's why these metals or semi-metals, they are named as metallic conductors, right? So these are metallic conductors. Next one is electrolytic conductors. What are electrolytic conductors? These are also named as electrolytes. And metallic conductors, basically you can also name it as electro or electronic conductors. These are also named as, in some of the books they may write here, electronic conductors. Electronic conductors, right? Or metallic conductors, in which the electrons are loosely held, generally metals or semi-metals, right? So they conduct current through the movement of electrons. Next one is electrolytic conductors, or they are named as electrolytes. So what are electrolytes? They conduct the current by the movement of ions due to the presence of cations and anions. So they conduct electricity through the movement of the ions. For example, there may be generally ionic electrolytes or covalent electrolytes, right? So for example, अपने को लिए हो गया sodium chloride. Now sodium chloride is an electrolyte. They can conduct electricity in their molten state or in their aqueous state. Aqueous state means when they are being dissolved in water or any polar solvent, that is their aqueous state. Molten means when they are melted, right? So they show generally electrical conductivity due to the movement of ions in their molten state or in their aqueous state. For example, sodium chloride, namak. Sodium chloride is actually generally conduct generally conduct the current in their molten state or in their aqueous state. When sodium chloride is dissolved in water, it shows conductivity, and when sodium chloride is melted, it show conductivity, right? ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ melt ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੋਲੇ electrical conductivity show ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ. Reason, because sodium chloride when dissolved in water or in the molten state, they lead to form sodium cation and chloride anion, right? So that's why due to these presence of ions lead to conduct current, right? Now the electrolytic conductors are generally divided into the two types further, that is strong electrolytes, means electrolytic conductors, right? Strong electrolytes and weak electrolytes. Strong and weak electrolytes, right? What are strong electrolytes now? Strong electrolytes which are completely dissociated or very easily dissociated or completely dissociated in to their cations and anions, which can very easily form their cations and anions. They are named as strong electrolytes. And what are weak electrolytes now? Weak electrolytes are the electrolytes which do not completely or easily dissociated. Completely or easily dissociated into their respective ions. For example, strong electrolyte is like sodium chloride, sodium hydroxide, right? All the ionic compounds are generally strong electrolytes, right? Weak electrolytes, which are generally weakly ionic, or they are generally covalent in nature. For example, acetic acid. Acetic acid undergo dissociation, very less dissociation into its respective cation and anion. So that's why these are named as strong electrolytes and weak electrolytes. They conduct electricity through their cations and anions, right? Next, we will talk about the factors influencing the electrolytic conduction. ਕਿਹੜੇ फैक्टर्स हैं जो कि इलैक्ट्रोलिटिक कंडक्शन ਨੂੰ एनहांस करते हैं। मीनस कोई भी इलैक्ट्रोलाइट इलैक्ट्रिसिटी जिन्ना कंडक्ट करता है वो ਕਿਹੜੇ फैक्टर्स के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है। सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल विल टॉक अबाउट हियर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर मीन्स नेचर ऑफ इलैक्ट्रोलाइट। इलैक्ट्रोलाइट की नेचर के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है कि तुहाडा जिहड़ा इलैक्ट्रिकल कंडक्शन है वो कितना होएगा, वो इलैक्ट्रोलाइट की नेचर पर डिपेंड करेगा। फॉर एग्जाम्पल हुणे आपां गल कीती है कि तुहाडा इलैक्ट्रोलाइट स्ट्रॉन्ग हो या वीक हो। अगर तो स्ट्रॉन्ग इलैक्ट्रोलाइट है तो बहुत अच्छे केटाइन और एनाइन का फॉर्मेशन करेगा, तो ऑब्वियस है इलैक्ट्रिकल कंडक्टिविटी ज़्यादा होएगी। और अगर वीक है इलैक्ट्रोलाइट तो ऑब्वियस है कि उन्हां दा जिहड़ा वीक इलैक्ट्रोलाइट है उन्हां दा जो कंडक्शन पावर है वो की होएगा, लैस होएगा। सैकेंड जो अपने को फैक्टर इतने डिपेंड ये करता है दैट इज वैदर दीज आर आयनिक इलैक्ट्रोलाइट्स और whether these are generally covalent electrolytes. These are named as generally non-electrolytes. For example, sugar, urea. These are generally named as weak electrolytes, or they are generally named as non-electrolytes. In ionic electrolytes or also in covalent electrolytes, ionic for example sodium chloride, that is very strong electrolyte, and in covalent electrolyte there's sugar and urea that are non-electrolytes, but acetic acid is also covalent in nature, so that's why that is generally a weak electrolyte, but it conduct electricity. So it generally depend upon the nature of electrolytes. Some of the electrolytes are non-electrolytes because they do not form cation or anion, but some of the covalent or partially ionic or ionic compound which may lead to form cation or anion, they generally conduct the electricity. So it is all about the formation of ions. Next we'll talk about the second factor that is named as nature of solvent. The conduction power or the conduction of the current actually depend upon the nature of solvent. Nature of solvent means if you are taking here the polar solvent, it will conduct electricity, very good conduction of electricity. For example, we are taking here water, ammonia, they are actually very good conductors of electricity, right? Because these are polar in nature. But if we take here the case of cyclohexane or we take here the case of chloroform actually or carbon tetrachloride, these are the non-polar in nature. So there is no partial positive or partial negative poles are here. So that's why generally they do not ground the electrolyte, right? So that's why the nature of solvent actually enhance the conduction power. More is the polarity of your solvent, more will be the conduction of the electrical current. Third one and most important next one is solvation or hydration. Now in second term or second factor we have already discussed about it that the solvent must be polar, right? It must not be non-polar or something, but actually sometimes the solvent has adverse effect. Adverse means opposite effect. What is this adverse effect? For example, I am talking here about a polar solvent, that the solvent must be polar. But sometime, for example, water, sometimes the solvent is polar, but due to the crowning of the ions by this polar solvent, right, the conduction decreases. Conduction decreases. कंडक्शन कैसे डिक्रीज हो जाती है ਹੁਣ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੋਲੇ? फॉर एग्जाम्पल बेटे ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲ कर रहे हैं अबाउट सोडियम क्लोराइड. Now sodium chloride is a very good conductor, even its molten state, even its aqueous state when dissolved in water. But its conduction decreases because it has very good ion dipole interactions with water. Due to that ion, because it forms ions, so due to that ion dipole interaction, its cation or anions are crowned by water. So due to which these, or due to solute solvent interactions or electrolyte and solvent interactions, the conductivity decreases. So sometimes there is hydration or solvation effect, means if your electrolyte and solvent interactions are stronger, then it may show an adverse effect, means it can decrease the electrical conductivity. Next we'll talk about fourth one. We'll talk about here, that is dilution. Dilution. If there is more dilution, then means more use of solvent and less concentration of solute, that is named as dilution. When solute is in least amount and solvent is in more amount, then we add more and more solvent, then the solution is named as diluted. So more is the use of solvent is there, least is the concentration of electrolyte is there, then there will be more conduction of electricity due to the formation of more ions. There will be more cations and anions, due to which there is more use of solvent and least concentration of solute. Because sometimes it happens, if there is excessive amount of, or the concentration of electrolyte is more, then sometimes due to the electrostatic forces, their positive and negative parts of, or cations or anions of electrolyte actually bound with each other, due to which they can't show conduction easily. So solvent helps to show more conduction, right? So they must be free, or there must be more spaces in between the cations and anions. So that's why the solution must not be more concentrated, or it must be diluted. More is the dilution, more will be the conduction, right? Next we will talk about next factor, that is fifth factor, that is named as temperature. Now what is the effect of temperature here? Temperature, with the increase in temperature, the conductivity increases, because we know very well the kinetic energy of the cations and anions will increase. More is the mobility, more will be the conduction. So temperature has direct effect upon the conductivity. More will be the temperature, more will be the kinetic energy, and more will be the conduction, which increases the conduction.